What's going on, everybody? RJ Ochoa here from SB Nation's bloggingtheboys.com. We hope all is well wherever you are. We hope you're happy, safe, healthy, because we always do. But we are here with some very, very, very sad news, some devastating news. It was initially feared and finally confirmed on Thursday afternoon. Dallas Cowboys cornerback Trevon Diggs out for the season with a torn ACL that he suffered during Thursday's practice. This is, again, there's no real way to spin this. This is devastating. Trevon Diggs is one of the best players on the Cowboys. The Cowboys have perhaps the best defense in the NFL, and they are now going to be without one of the best players on that side of the ball for the rest of the season. It is a huge, huge, huge blow so early in the year. Trevon Diggs, of course, recorded his first interception this past Sunday against the New York Jets, and now the Cowboys are going to have to play the rest of this season, a majority of the season, obviously, without the best cornerback on their team. First and foremost, our thoughts and our prayers, our well wishes, our best thoughts are with Trevon, obviously, in the recovery that's going to follow this. The Cowboys, you will recall, gave Trevon a brand new deal, a $97 million contract extension back at the beginning of training camp, something that, was and remains the right decision. This is just a freak injury, an unfortunate thing. I know some people are upset because the Cowboys have had some things pile up during practices so far this year, but it's football, and sometimes these things are just an unfortunate result of the game and the physical nature that it ultimately involves. As far as, kind of moving forward, it's difficult, right? Because we're so sad and we're so bummed, and people have questions, what happens next for the Cowboys. I would imagine the plan for the Cowboys is for Deron Bland, who's in his second season, who obviously had an incredible rookie campaign, for him to kick outside, and for Jordan Lewis, who actually returned last week from injury himself, for him to play slot full time. And I think you look back on, the decision from the Cowboys to trade for Stephon Gilmore is obviously incredibly more valuable now that they are going to be operating without Trevon Diggs. The decision not to trade, like many people had thought or kind of thrown out as an idea, to trade away Jordan Lewis remains an incredibly valuable one, because now the Cowboys have to have him play, in the slot with Deron Bland kicking out. Again, if that is what they ultimately decide to do. It's difficult to say, this is or was or whatever, this degree of impacting. It's a big blow. I mean, there's no way to kind of spin this any other way. It is devastating for the Dallas Cowboys, and it's the first, massive injury that they will have. We had an article run actually earlier on Thursday that it looked like Sunday in Arizona, where the Cowboys are obviously going to be playing the Cardinals on Sunday. It looked like this was going to be the first time this season that the Cowboys are going to be at full strength, because, it seems like Tyler Smith and Brandon Cooks are obviously on pace to return. And so it seemed like the Cowboys were finally going to have all 22 of their starters available to them, both on offense and defense. And we now know that that will never be the case throughout the course of this season. And you hate to chalk it up to, hey, it's football, it's the NFL, that happens. That is true, but there's a human element to this. And Trevon Diggs is such a great person to follow, and is a fan favorite of so many people, and is such a dynamic player and such a leader on the defensive side of the ball, that this is just a really difficult thing. I think there's a shock effect that we all obviously have to kind of deal with. And so Trevon Diggs out for the season, and, will the Cowboys make a move? Will they add a corner? We talked about Jordan Lewis as kind of the plan. Eric Scott Jr. is a player who the Cowboys have obviously believed in. Had a little bit of a struggle in preseason after a great start to the training camp period of things. Noah Igbenogany, now obviously who the Cowboys traded for at final roster cutdowns, has a real opportunity to kind of carve out a role here. The Cowboys did trade away Kelvin Joseph, and I know that a lot of us were kind of questioning that decision at the time, whatever. It's not fair to play hindsight. You can never predict these kinds of things. It's an unfortunate thing that happened, but the Cowboys remain one of the best teams and have one of the best rosters in the NFL, even still. But there's no question that this is a massive, massive blow to their team and to their overall potential this year. We may never have truly gotten to see the defense operate at the peak of its powers with all of its players, because Trevon Diggs now will miss the rest of the season. We will, of course, continue to have you covered here at Blogging the Boys on this story and everything else. So please subscribe to the channel. It's a tough day. My name's RJ Ochoa. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at RJ Ochoa, on TikTok at RJ.Ochoa. You can shoot me an email if you'd like, rj.ochoa@sbnation.com, or you can leave a comment down below, and we'll do our best to get to those as well. For now, Trevon Diggs, we're thinking of you. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We'll see you next time.